Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching our first inaugural, I guess this is an Airsoft Round Table, kind of like a podcast hosted by yours truly. We got some really special guests here today, so enough about me. I want to introduce our special guests with us on this panel, starting to my left. Miss Nono Cat from all the way from New Zealand. Would you like to take us out as number one?
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Nora from New Zealand, otherwise known as Nona Cat. And yeah, it's great to be here with everyone here in Laylax, as well as Scott, Kev, and Jono. So yeah, next.
Sitting next to Miss Nono Cat.
Hi, Masaki from Laylax. Welcome to AA meeting, Airsoft Addict meeting.
Yes. And
We
next
have
to
a problem.
Masaki, we have.
Hey everyone, Scott Hollenbeck from US Airsoft, all the way from Texas. I'm sitting around a lot of very knowledgeable people, and I'm trying to take in as much of that knowledge as I possibly can. And I think we're going to be passing a few little interesting tidbits here and there across the table today, so I'm going to pass it on over to random guy Kev.
Wait, did he just do the announcer voice?
I'm going to now pass it on to.
It's not the voice that
By the way, that's
hearing over.
for those of you out there, that is not his real.
Hi, random guy Kev, also Kevin from New Jersey. Yeah, Airsoft in Japan with Laylax. Love these guys and everybody else here. And I'm gonna pass it off to Jonathan of Airsoftology.
Hi, and by the way, I got to say this. I don't know how we have. You have that's like the 5th Airsoft Extreme zip-up shirt I've seen. Like how many of these things? What do you have a whole suitcase? Anyways, guys, I'm Jonathan with Airsoftology. I'm so happy to be here. It's like what 3 or 4 times now? I lost track. So much fun. Every year it gets better. Excited to be a part of this.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan from Laylax, and I'm here with all our great friends. And yeah, I've been enjoying all their fun shenanigans and such. So catch us all, and hope you enjoy this nice little round table we have. So, Mark.
All right. So now that we all know who each other are, I do want to start with our first question. Now, we've been very fortunate to be able to bring so many of you guys here for the Crytek Owners Meeting. Now, the Crytek Owners Meeting is like a community event where we give back to our customers or users who purchase Crytek guns. It's something very special that we organize every year as a thank you for them, for give them an opportunity to show off their builds, show off their guns, and meet like-minded people. Now, with you guys coming and enjoying this, many of you for the first time, what was your experience with the Crytek Owners event? Nora, ladies first.
Well, it was really cool, for one. It was quite a different experience. So, I was expecting somewhat what I saw, but then again, when you're there in person, it was a different experience. So everybody was really structured, I guess, very courteous. There was a lot of sense in a lot of things, and everybody seemed to be quite honest, unlike a lot of airsoft events out there, I guess, in other countries. So in Japan, I felt like everybody was just really honest and courteous. And then when we got into like the games and things like that, that was really interesting as well. So having played there, I just realized that hey, it actually wasn't too bad with the sub 0.98 joules and all that. Everybody was really honest. They called their hits, and it just flowed really well. The other thing that surprised me was the amount of custom guns and theme, I guess, like matching attire. So they match the attire to their guns, and to me that's something that you don't see very often, and that's really cool. So it's not just multicam black with multicam black. It was more of like black and green or orange and something, and it goes well together, and everybody has something like a gun that looks really fancy. They start adding decorations like little sakura flowers on the side. I found that really cool. So just being there, it was a completely different experience for me.
That's really cool. Well, Mr. Masaki, how did you enjoy?
How do I
KOM this
enjoy?
time?
Well, see, to make people hoping to enjoy the event, we're the ones not enjoying the event.
to make sure that everybody get to enjoy. So we do, all the work around it. But I don't know. I know you want to do this whole circle thing, but one person in this round table that has both worked as a guest and the staff. So I think I should pitch it back to Mark, how it's like.
Wow. Okay. On the spot. No, that's absolutely true. It's very interesting to be on this side of the fence now, because on the outside as a guest coming here, I think last time was 2019. I've known Masaki and many of the team here at Laylax for a little bit of time, and I can see the hard work that goes into a lot of it, because any event does require you to do a lot of planning, but you really don't know how much goes into it until you work the event. The long hours spent, the shipping of the products, the getting things ready, the weeks and weeks of making sure we finalize the right graphics and get the right things out there. The planning of how we lay out the booths and planning entertaining and fun game types for everybody to enjoy. It's way more work than I would have ever imagined from the outside looking in. So it's really a new level of respect I've gained for the team here, for them to constantly be on the ball. The weather was, wow, fantastic. There was some fluctuation, and we're outside the whole day. We're on our feet the whole day. We're making sure everybody was taken care of, from our domestic team to our international team with Masaki and Ryan. And so it was like, to be now on this side, it's very like, whoa, this is not a small event to run. And it seems so to do it, but there's a lot of planning and hard work that went into it. So really big props to the team that's able to do that. So that's a little my 2 cents from now being a guest versus to now working this event. And with that, I'm going to pass on to Mr. Scott Hallenbeck.
Well, for me, I just really enjoyed, as we've already touched on, and I'm sure quite a few other people will as well, the customization and the personality in a lot of the players here. Everything is so unique, and even what I would think would be casual uniforms or customization, it's a little bit more intricate than that. I mean, we were seeing Gundam customs, we were seeing insert the zombie loadouts and such, and I kind of felt very at home almost sometimes. I had a Naruto Akatsuki cloak packed in my baggage, and I thought I'd just throw that on and put on some gear over it, and people liked it, and I just had a lot of fun just playing to have fun, treating it as it should be a game. And everyone else seemed to have fun, so I guess we all enjoyed every minute there.
That's good. Kev, what about you, man?
For me personally, it was like a great experience, social experience, because talking to all the different players and people just walking up to me once they knew we weren't from around, they were just like, oh, let's have a conversation. I'm taking pictures and videos and having conversations about their gun. And it's like we're here at a car meet or a sneaker convention, and it's like everybody's just showcasing their stuff. They don't care to play. They're here to socialize, showcase what they created, and get feedback and how to improve it and things of that nature. A lot of the vendors were also showcasing what they did, which was also an amazing experience. And I feel like what everybody else has been saying has to be a fun experience. Talk to people, have fun, get their viewpoints on things going on. I mean, and I enjoyed it a lot. It's just I wish we can bring that culture over to the U.S. and do the same exact thing.
Is it up to us to bring it, I guess?
It's on your shoulders.
I mean, it's just, like Scott said, like people came out there, they didn't care how they were dressed. They came out there with their however they created it and went out and played. In the U.S., it's more kind of, hey, if you cross that line, it's like you're doing too much. In some places, you're doing too much. You need to wear your military fatigues at all times, something like that.
We care too much what other people think.
Yes, that's the thing. We care too much, but here's just like, hey, do what you want, wear what you want, and go from there.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Jono?
I know, it's when everybody else, I go last, it's like you have nothing to say. But no, really, all jokes aside, I'll keep it short. It's community. Honestly, it just comes down to the community you see here. Like, it's they're united by one brand, but there's so many diverse play styles, like you all have said. There's just like every walk of life. You've got the what's it? Not the speedball. What do they call it here? UAB. Yeah. You got the UAB guys out there, and you got like the guys that are like head to toe mill sim down. Everything in between, right? It's just interesting to see that they all unite under the banner of Crytek. And Laylax puts on an amazing event. This is like what, number 3, number 4? I lose track. They're all amazing, and every year they seem to get better, and it's just fantastic.
Yeah. Here's a special one for you guys. Ryan Sensei, this is your first one after joining the company for a few years. How did you feel? How was your first Crytek owners
I
meeting?
just say I've been very patient. This whole
This year, you've been saying this a lot.
It's like-
First everything.
How much
Oh.
hair did you lose, or how many gray hairs did you get?
all of them.
Yes.
But it was worth it. Let's put it that way. And going off of Jono, what he said is, community. I saw the passion that makes Japanese airsoft or sabage, and that's something that's like a lot of the guests. They would come up to me and be like, "Hey Ryan, like this guy's doing this, or they're doing this, or what are they saying, or what's the note that they're reading?" It's just like how appreciative and connected this community is here. And not saying like other communities around the world are not as connected, because they're all just, everyone's different culturally, but here in Japan, like, that we always have that kind of otaku culture, or that culture of you like this thing, other people like this thing, let's be friends, kind of thing. We all have shared interest, and that is a thing that I can really admire and respect, no matter what it is, I guess, as long as you're not hurting anyone, anything crazy. But in general, airsoft is a thing that brings a lot of people together, and people aren't fighting or people aren't screaming. They're like, we're all here to have fun. So I am happy to have come to this finally and see it. After every year, it's like, oh no, pandemic finished, maybe we'll do it this year, But yeah, that's my 2 cents on it.
That's good. That's a good one. Now, I was going to ask everybody, question number 2 was, now that you've played in the Crytek owners meeting, how was your playing experience? But so many of you answered that in your experience. So I'm going to roll that actually into the next question, which was, what was the main difference? Like the big one, the big main difference you felt playing airsoft here versus playing airsoft wherever else you've played before. Let's say primarily from home. And Jono, maybe you can touch upon Taiwan and here as well. So again, we'll start with the lady. Let the lady go first.
Well, being first is quite tough because you don't give me time to process that.
Oh,
but
so sorry. Next time we'll go the other way.
yeah. So essentially, I found that it was somewhat different. So I feel like in New Zealand, we play a little bit more aggressive. So here, I felt that everyone, was here to have fun. They're more nicer. So in terms of like being competitive, that's specific to the Crytek owners meeting. I felt like everyone was on a different level of play style, but everyone came from the point of view that they're here to have fun. So it was quite different in the sense that, I could just be casual about it, if anything, and just roll with it, and everybody is just as serious, but yet trying to have fun. And yeah.
That's good.
Having fun, yeah.
Scott, what about you, man?
For me, I like to follow airsoft in a way of, I don't care how you play, as long as you're following the rules and you're not being a jerk. And people really follow that here. I like that it seems in the United States, for a lot of places that I go to, people care way too much of how they're looked at by other people, and I hate this term, but of what's cringe and what's not, and what's embarrassing and stuff. But here, nobody cares about that. They are here to have fun, and they are going to achieve that any way they want to. And you have some players that really play for performance to get to play compete. Sometimes, I haven't seen it too extreme yet. It seems casual in the way that I feel like airsoft should have been from the start. And I just like how everyone comes here to have fun. That's it. Zero. That's it. Period. I don't know. I just really like that.
Can I quickly interrupt? I just remembered something. So I realized no one was yelling in the field. Like there was no yelling. That's right. But they do communicate sometimes because I've seen that. So for example, they'll be like, there's a guy on the right on the second pillar, but they don't shout. And there's no yelling at people saying, cool your hits or, you're cheating sort of thing. So that was a very different experience. Like, once again, it's just fun,
Politely talking.
Very polite, very nice, yeah. Politely talking, yeah.
Excuse me, there's a guy behind this corner. Would you like to breach with me? Let's do this together. Friendship. Very friendship des. Yes. How about you, Kevin?
For me, it's like Nora said, like in the U.S., we somewhat play aggressive, and it's like, all right, I'm pushing up. Is anybody else behind me? And I'm trying to communicate to the other guys, like, hey, come on, someone push with me. Do you see anybody? Can you tell me if anybody's here? And it's like everybody's just looking at me like, and just keep continuing to shoot. And it's like, okay, great, I can push this myself. And then also situational awareness. People don't know what's going on around them. They don't pay attention to what's going on. So like 4 guys could be looking in this one direction. No one's looking over here, so they can all get shot from back here. So I'm like, a couple times I pulled up and I saw like all the guys looking in one direction. I'm like, do you guys not know? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I can shoot you guys. That's fine. You got to love tap them a couple times so they feel it. But that situational awareness and communication is just like, not here. It's like, I would like to talk to somebody hey guys, push up here. You can push up. Don't stay back there. Push up. And it's like, they just look at me and smile and just, I'm going to go this way. I was like, okay, that's great.
With that, it's like the different levels of competitiveness is all present.
Yeah.
Because when you mentioned that, I actually saw people working together.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Someone threw a grenade right at me, and then like 4 dudes rushed a corner and took out like 6 or 7 of my guys. So they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's interesting. John, was this the first time you actually played here?
I played once before. It seems like every time we come, it's like we get here and then we end up doing like media and other stuff, and it's like it's 4 o'clock. I'm like, I need to get out there and play, and then it's like it's just because there's so much to do. It's not the fact that I don't want to play. I absolutely love playing Japan. It's just fantastic. They're like everybody's already said. There's like a whole different vibe and feel, and if you ever have the chance to do it, by all means, you should totally come here and play. It's very different. But yeah, this is probably the second time I actually had the chance to play like proper at the owners meeting. I saw a lot of the same things. I think the thing that surprises me the most, especially maybe this time, I don't know, it's changed in 3 or 4 years, is everybody's guns are dialed in, like absolutely, and they can watch angles. So I think because in Japan Airsoft, there's not a lot of running allowed in a lot of fields, that the players are used to just getting on that corner, watching their lane, and then just getting out and just snap shooting. And if you stick any part of your body out, like you just like pinky, you're getting shot. I mean, like there are sometimes I'm like, all right, I'm gonna like peek, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna peek low. It's because I just peeked high this time. I'm gonna peek low from the same one. I peek low, and it's like, all right, out, hit though. It's like these guys are on it, and they're not throwing BBs down the lane. They're waiting, and they're just waiting for that, and they're just popping out and just getting it. And I think that's the biggest thing is you have to, as you move up, you need teamwork. You need people working with you, to your point. You got to have someone on your side. And I think our best success this time is when we had a few of us working together. Mm-hmm. But successful with the local Japanese community, some of the players, there were some great pushes I had with the local players here. Just like, hey, come on behind me, let's go, like do the hand signals, right? And we just went for it. Yeah, we went for it.
Yeah. Good thing the sun was playing with us too.
Yeah, we did pick the right side because the sun was definitely on our side. We played like a 40-minute long game. It was a great, just tap and go on respawn. So
Yeah, that's good times.
Yeah.
Good times for sure. Now, you guys have been so good at answering double questions. Because, man, I was asking, what was, the main difference? Like, not the main difference and what surprised you the most. Guys, help a brother out. But anyways, which is okay because the next question is going to be able to roll into 2. So now you've got a chance to play and experience. You found your main difference and what surprised you the most. Now, how do you see the community here in Japan? And this time we'll go this way. Jono, how do you see the community? But now you've kind of played with them and also kind of spend a significant amount of a day with them, right? What vibe do you get? How do you see the airsoft community here in Japan? Especially maybe you would have a good insight since you've also been to way more store visits as well.
I think, you know, like if I'm going to speak on the Taiwan side, the Taiwan kind of walks the line between Japan Airsoft a little bit and then also US Airsoft. So like where US Airsoft, like a lot of the fields you're seeing very aggressive players, right? Speed soft is prevalent, and especially indoors. Moving into the outdoors, that fast run and gun, run up. In Taiwan, you're seeing a mix of that. So I do see a hybrid of what you see here in Japan from a community in that. Because I think to answer, this is kind of jumping back a question, because you said you want me to talk on Taiwan. How I see the community here, I'm going to say mature, but I'm going to explain what I mean by mature. I mean, like, you can definitely tell this is the original version of Airsoft. And it doesn't mean, and again, I love playing Airsoft all over the world. I'm from America, where I learned in the States. But you can definitely tell that there's always some place that has the origination, like the country that invented basketball or badminton or whatever sport or whatever, right? And that community, that country, that group is the core. And then everybody else is kind of spun off from that, right? And they have their slight variations. When you come here and play, the thing I know is it's definitely the heart and soul, the core, the original version. And there's some amazing copies and spin-offs, you know? But this is the original franchise. I mean, come on, this is, you know, episode 4, 5, and 6 of Star Wars, right? And all the rest of them are like the sequels and the prequels. Now, I'm gonna get a lot of hate on this one, but I mean, but for you geeks out there, the Star Wars fans, but really, that's what the vibe I get is there's just something very real and original about here, and it's special because of that. So
That's good. I kind of get it. Episode 4, 5, and 6.
yeah.
All right, that's fine. That was my takeaway. Kevin?
Repeat the question again?
Can you use the word in a sentence?
The question was, now that you've spent some time here, like how do you see the community, the Japanese airsoft community?
Being that I've played at a number of places in the U.S. and, you know, playing here for this particular event, I've been to different events. I feel like it's very social. I like the social aspect of it. If you have an event in the U.S., a lot of times people don't talk to anybody. Like you go there and do your one thing. You came to see who you wanted to see, or you sit in the corner and wait till somebody calls you over and then you talk to them. But it's very social. Everybody's engaging with other people that they may not even know. And it's like, okay, they're comfortable having a conversation just walking up to you. In the U.S., not really, unless you kind of force it upon them. Like, hey, you have to go to that table to win a raffle thing or something like that. Where that's the only time people are really like engaging. If they see something cool, they won't say anything. They'll look from far away, take their little picture from far away, but won't engage that person. Be like, hey, can I see that? Is it okay if I look at that? Whereas here, people are just like, oh wow, just walk up, talk to you, ask questions, and go that route. That's what I feel like. Here it's a lot more like social when it comes to events, and the U.S. not really, not so much. Yeah.
Scott, what about you, man?
The community here in Japan is a community. As Kevin was saying, there are a lot of times where a lot of opportunities I allow to pass up between filming, doing stuff between other friends, trying to make new friends because I don't want to get embarrassed or embarrass other people or cause people to freak out or some sort. I don't feel any of that here, and I like that because I like to be very social. I'm an extrovert, and I talk way too much. So
Not on that voice.
So
This is a serious voice.
right now, I'm also a little tired.
We've been going. This has been an amazing event, but it's like we've got a month worth of Japan experience condensed into like 5 days. So
I need to nap for 3 days straight. I need to hibernate. But no, I love the freedom that I feel here. I don't feel scared to do whatever I want to do. As long as people, like I was thinking, as long as they're okay with me filming them, they're all right with you filming them. Most every single time. They're fine with it. And I really love that about this place.
That's really cool. Nora, what about you?
So I had a bit of time to think. So the funny thing, yeah. So the funny thing is, my point of view is a bit conflicting with everyone else because the community in New Zealand is actually pretty great as well. So we're very social people. We love engaging with others. So if we're at an event, we actually do talk to each other. So the thing is, what I saw here is somewhat similar at the start, where everyone gets together. They're playing that game, Saisho Junkin Bond, right? Yeah. But there's a standard. There's an there's unspoken standard that everyone kind of follows. So if you don't follow, it's like you're shameful. So that's how I feel. So, but then again, everyone's friendly, everyone's social, but the whole thing. It's funny because the attire example, right, is if you don't dress remotely okay, it doesn't, you don't blend in, if that makes sense. Whereas in New Zealand, we'll rock up in a hoodie and jeans and that's it, right? Whereas this one was everyone had a standard there that you had to follow, like an unspoken standard. Then when we got into the game, everyone actually was more individualistic. There was no teams that kind of wrote together. It was very minimal, if anything. But at the same time, it's a different kind of community in the sense that in New Zealand, we're all social, we're all friendly, and there's groups that play together. So it's a bit weird. I can't say if I like it, if I don't, but it's a new experience for me, if anything. So personally, being a guest that don't speak Japanese, it was a bit hard for me to assimilate in that community because I'm an outsider. But if let's say I learned the language a little bit more, maybe I can understand it much more, and I think that'll be much more interesting for me because right now, what I'm seeing is quite a unique community, if anything. So I can't really put my hands on it to say something certain, if that makes sense.
I think what I'm getting a good vibe from everybody is the social aspect, and I think the most important thing is that me from also being on your side as well. It's the willingness to participate, right? They come with a willingness to be part of it, right? They're not, oh, I'm too good to be part of this. Oh, I'm too cool to dress up. I'm too cool to play along or to role play, right? Exactly. I'm too sexy for my shirt.
I didn't see many people just hiding in the parking lot how they would in a lot of
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, a lot of people just chilling in their cars. But I guess
I'm gonna go over here.
I'm going to flip the question on you because this is something actually I'm curious because a lot of us were echoing this. When people were playing, like you were even saying, people weren't aware. There were a few groups were playing together. Is that because this was a special event where there's a raffle and a lottery? So I know the way this event for you may not know.
About I think where you're trying to go.
Yeah, because it's not team based.
It's quite a unique experience for probably all of you because this is quite a owners meeting and we have X amount of numbers of people who can attend. It's not open, to sign up as many as possible kind of thing. You need to sign up the day of our tickets start selling. And usually normal airsoft game, we have groups of people, they all come together and they just stick around each other and spend a day within this group. But this event, you need to sign up individually, and you may or may not get to play.